what are the top 10 most greatest and most fired up fairy tale moments of all time?
Don't blame me if I break you.
What is going on, my fairy fans? Welcome to this week's episode of Fairy Tale Discussion, where we do weekly discussion like What If and top 10 discussion on fairy tale. What are the top 10 greatest fairy tale moment of all time? Let me know in the comment section below, as I'll be sharing with you guys the top 10 greatest fairy tale moments of all time. Inside of this, my fairy fans, I'm going to discuss about the moments that I felt should be inside this list. If there's a list called top 10 greatest list, I believe the moments I chose deserves to be inside this list. So at the end of the discussion, I'd like for you guys to share me your thoughts on this and what do you guys think about my list. So my fairy fans, let's get right to discussion. This one's gonna be 2 in 1. So the first one is, we got Mira Jane unlocking her beast form again, and this was actually really awesome against Freed. When pretty much Elfman was being tortured by Freed, Mira Jane couldn't take it no more. Her heart exploded and bam, she transformed to a she-devil form. And when she transformed to a she-devil form, it was over. She went and started beating the head of Freed. But the moment how she transformed was a pretty awesome. Is the reason why I have to add this to be on my list. We got Loxus coming right in the nick of time to fight Hades. The way he came to fight Hades was pretty epic, because Hades was about to destroy Natsu and the rest of the fairy tale wizard, but then out of nowhere they hear loud lightning and bam! Loxus came right in front of their face. This is a 2 in 1. So the first one is,
inside this castle wait 100 monsters. I choose to challenge all of them.
we got Urza fighting 100 monsters. When she first declared to fight 100 monsters, everybody in the tournament is like, what the hell? And for myself too, I was like, yo, that's my Urza. This girl's too much of a badass. Like, come on, 100 monsters who are beyond, who are S class 2? Holy, way to go, Urza. And she managed to take down all 100 monsters without any help. And it's the reason why this deserves to be inside this list. Enter was pretty epic. It's the reason why I had to add this to be on my list. This is another awesome moment for Loxus, and that is when he gets up and decks Jera. This was a very awesome moment because Jera first went and decked Loxus right to the ground. Everybody thought it was a KO because Loxus fell right face to the ground, and that's what Jera's like, how sad, I ended with just one blow. But then Loxus gets up and says, what was that? BAM! Uppercuts it right in the face, and Loxus is like, I'm not out of this, boy.
There's always someone above you. Yeah, you're right about that. But what you seem to have forgotten is to pay close attention to who's right at your feet.
And see that moment, I was like, yo, Loxus, I have to add this to my list. This is epic. When the dragons come out inside the Tuttress arc, this was actually another awesome moment because pretty much inside the Tuttress arc, they're all fairy tales fighting the Tuttress guild, but then out of nowhere, all the dragon slayers start to feel something weird feeling inside their stomach, and bam! All the dragons emerge from their body. And that was pretty epic because throughout the whole fairy tale was a big mystery. What happened to the dragons? Turns out the dragons came out of their body and they were inside the body the whole time just so that they could create anti-magic so they don't transform into dragons like Acnologia. And when they came out, it was pretty epic how they came destroyed face, and we have Igneo fighting Acnologia. Natsu using Dragon Force for the first time. This was really epic because Natsu was fighting Jalal, and then when Jalal was bullying Urza, Natsu couldn't take it. He decks Jalal and starts eating Ether Nano, and then from there he becomes Super Natsu. He starts powering up as he unlocks his Dragon Force for the first time and starts to beating the crap out of Jalal. This was epic because when Natsu fought Gajo, we saw his Dragon Force, but we never saw Natsu's Dragon Force until the fight between him and Jalal. That pretty much woke in his Dragon Force, and seeing that was just awesome. It's the reason why I have to add this to be on the list. This one's gonna be 2 in 1. So the first one is, we got Natsu saving Urza inside Tower of Heaven. This was actually one emotional moment, an amazing moment between Natsu, and it's the reason why for a second there it gave me hopes that later in the future there might be a Nerza, but then Nalu is pretty much confirmed. When I saw this moment, I'm just like, wow, what an awesome moment, because we have Natsu there saving Urza's life. First, Urza tells Natsu that I'm here to sacrifice myself, goodbye Natsu, and Natsu saying no, don't leave me. And then when Natsu saves Urza's life, she sees she's still alive. She sees she's inside Natsu's arms. She's like, how am I alive? And then when she sees Natsu there, she starts to cry, saying thank you for saving my life, Natsu. And from there she made a promise to Natsu that she's never going to sacrifice her life, and she's always going to live to fight for her friends.
This doesn't make any sense. Does this mean I'm still alive? Natsu! You saved me. Again. I was lost in that sea of magic energy. And you were still able to find me. I won't. Promise! I promise. Thank you. Natsu.
When Natsu hugs Lucy, this was actually one of the greatest Nalu moments of all time, because right after when Eclair died inside the Fairy Tail movie, Lucy starts to cry a lot because that was her friend. Her friend just died, but then Natsu's there to comfort her. She asks Natsu how come this happened, and we see Natsu just hugging Lucy, and this is like one amazing Nalu moment. And when I saw that, I'm like, yo, that Nalu moment, I have to add this on my list. This gets me every time. The very sad moment, that is when my girl Ultear uses Last Age. It was actually very sad when she reversed time, because she pretty much gave up her own time just so that everybody else could live. And what made it more sad was that when she saw time didn't go, time only went back by 1 minute, but little did she know that 1 minute saved everybody's life.
I will gladly pay. If giving up this life of sin and sorrow, if that can truly set the world as it was, then so be it.
She felt that no repentance could accept her sins, so she decided to sacrifice herself so she could repent for her sins, and she did. And what makes it an okay moment is that Ultear was happy throughout the whole time, but each time I watch the moment, it gets me sad. Because honestly, I like Ultear. She's my favorite anime character, but too bad she had to sacrifice herself. When Gildar saves Kana life from Blue Nose Stinger, this was epic, because Blue Note came, he wanted to take Fairy Glitter, but no one told him where it is, so he decided to kill Kana, Natsu, Lucy, whoever's there with his gravity. And before he could kill Kana, BAM! Someone comes and give Blue Nose Stinger 10 feet away, and that was no one other than my boy Gildar Clive, as he's getting ready to fight Blue Nose Stinger. And the way he came to save Kana was just epic.
Now go!
We got Urza's Nikigami armor. 1 minute so epic was that we finally get to see Urza's second origin power, and when she transformed to her second origin, she managed to use one of her strongest armor of all time. That is the Nikigami armor, where she could pretty much just one-shot anyone, and she managed to deck Mariva with just one shot. And that was pretty awesome, seeing her new armor like that. It's the reason why that's one of my favorite armor of Urza. That's like an OP armor right there. Seeing this moment was epic is the reason why I have to add this to be on my list.
This anger's not just mine. It's Fairy Tail. Second origin, release! Nakagami armor.
We got Wendy's Dragon Force. When I first saw this, I'm like, okay, if there's gonna be a list called the top 10 greatest Fairy Tail moment, this has to be inside there. Wendy going Dragon Force was just beyond epic, because out of nowhere, first of all, Wendy finally steps up, and not to mention, she ends up beating up one of the Tether's demon member, Eels. And the way she transformed to her Dragon Force was epic, as she goes and BAM! Beats the crap out of Eels, and she finally stepped up. When I saw it, I'm like, my girl, Wendy, you have definitely approved. I'm so happy. Way to go for Lou, Wendy. We got Fairy Tail Return. This is by far the most greatest moment in Fairy Tail, is the reason why this is number 1. Because when Fairy Tail returned after the 7-year gap, it was very intense and a lot of emotion inside this moment. Because first thing, you have Twilight Ogres, who's pretty much bullying Fairy Tail because Fairy Tail owes them a debt, and they used to come over, beat them Fairy Tail members up and tell them to give us money. And then when Romeo started to step up, they go and they about to attack Romeo, but out of nowhere,
Look who's back!
Sorry to keep you waiting for so long.
this was intense, because after 7 years, they saw the original Fairy Tail team come back, and everyone there was really happy, and they started crying because it was such a long time. They saw their friends, and they're really emotional. A lot of intensity inside this moment is the reason why this is number 1 moment when it comes to Fairy Tail of them returning. Because if you watch the moment, you too agree that this is a really intense moment, and this moment deserves to be number 1. And this is pretty much my top 10 greatest Fairy Tail moment. That is all today, my Fairy fan. Let me know in the comment section below what are your guys' top 10 Fairy Tail moments, or what are you guys' top 5, or even your top 1 Fairy Tail moment, and you guys all agree my number 1, and which moment do you guys think should have been inside the list I didn't add, or which moment do you guys think I should not add inside the list. and add another moment. Again, this is all opinion based. In my opinion, I believe that these moments I listed right here are the best moments inside Fairy Tail. Is the reason why I listened to these on my list. That is all for today, people. Thanks for watching this video. If there's anything you guys like about this video, what I have to talk about, please drop me a like. That would be amazing. If you enjoy my guild by subscribing, please do so. I'll really appreciate it. I'm GokuT23. Have an insane day, my fairy fans.
It's over. Die, Amaterasu.
Bolt weapon deployed! Nova blood! You'll never interfere with us again, do you understand?
If you really want to fly, I can help you out. Crushing evil, spreading truth. Empyrean!
Now you're the one who sounds like she's afraid. How dare you?
Throw her out! Right now!
Damn you. You don't have nearly enough power to ever make that happen. Bankai.